Hey, welcome back to the podcast. This is AR Tales, aka the A.R.T podcast. I am AR Mirabal. Pring ding. And I am joined by oh my god, I almost forgot it. Smart Cherry's Thoughts YouTube channel, but they also call him Sai. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for your invitation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw what you were doing with well, you know what? I'll just let you talk about it. What is the aim of your YouTube channel right now? I actually really like the concept.
See, I got a thought one day that I want to connect. I just want to know whether a human being who is living on a particular part of the world can connect with every person who is living in every part of the world and know what they are talking and what they are doing and what they are thinking and what decisions that they are taking in their lives and their thoughts and their way of thinking. So that thought made me to start a platform. I want to provide a platform where everybody can share their thoughts and can tell what exactly their purpose of life is. So I decided to talk and I started it, and now I did 250 plus videos with almost 80 to 90 country people.
Oh, people from all those 89 different countries?
Yeah, from Germany, UK, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, US, from almost all the states. So like that.
So, what would you say is what would you say is your most interesting conversation so far? Or not even a person, but more, what is your most interesting thing to hear about a person?
See, for I can't say that one person or one video of mine is interesting because every person is unique. Every person have their own story and every person have their own experience. So every person have their own thoughts. So different people created different thoughts in me. So there is no such thing. I just listen to them and I just say okay, but everybody's lives and their experience is valuable for them. So if I say a particular name, so that will be not good for other people. So I don't want to tell that.
No, like I said, it's not. I wasn't asking for a particular person. I was saying, what is your favorite theme? What is a common element that you love hearing from a person? A through line that's throughout all your interviews, all the different people that you talk. What is the same thing? Your favorite question to ask? What is your favorite thing to know about a person?
I want to know what exactly they wanted to do in their life, whether they are doing what they love or they are doing for to impress other person or other people or to the world. So they just want to know whether they are doing what they love in their life or not.
Okay, I like that. So you're searching for authenticity. So you want
Yeah.
to, especially in Instagram and like Twitter, where a lot of people are doing it just to get followers, or they're doing something they don't really believe in, just in order to they think that's the quickest route to get to get some type of success or some type of fame. So you say that you're looking for people that are really about what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What about yourself?
Yeah, I have completed masters in software engineering,
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
and yeah, I'm preparing for cloud engineer position, and I want to move from India to Canada in coming days. So I just want to be a cloud engineer and continue listening to different thinking people and showcase their ideas and thoughts to the world and give same person. And I just wanted to tell through my medium to the world that every human being have a same equal same right to live and have a uh, right to say what they feel like saying.
That is an awesome message. Awesome message. Uh, well, I also read that you're a writer yourself. No,
Yeah.
what do you write?
I write about my general observations. Like now, I'm talking with you after this conversation. If I understand something from this conversation, or if I get some thought, or if I think some solution or some problem, or just want to explain the observation, and I'll go through my website and I'll just write what I feel like saying. So there's no judging or just an observation, just showing this is what I felt, this is what happened, that's it.
Okay, and what would you say? What was your last observation?
My last observation was about way of thinking.
Okay, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So way of thinking of a human being, like way. What is way? Way means when we are traveling, we see
Way,
yeah,
like WAY.
yeah, way.
Okay.
So way, what is way? Way means think that we are going on a vehicle, and we see a lot of ways in when we are going on a vehicle. We see a lot of ways to we'll take right or we'll take left and we'll go straight or we'll go back. So there are a lot of ways like that. Every way is a human being, and every human being have his own way of thinking. So ways of thinking. So what is my way, what is your way, what is other person's way? So like that, every person have his or her own way of thinking. So one way of thinking of a human being will never match with other humans way of thinking. So that is what I understood from all my experience.
Okay. So you would say that it's very philosophical, your thing, like your blog post.
Correct, correct.
Okay. So then you would say, or would you say that you're a student of philosophy?
No, I'm not. No,
Oh,
I'm not.
because I was about to ask you, do you have a particular philosopher that you're akin to that you like a lot?
I studied about I studied Ayn Rand, the Fountainhead and the Virtue of Selfishness. Her books. I know what she said. I'm more into her. I follow. I don't follow her. I studied a lot of her. I think there is her impact on my thinking because of reading her more. And her book is one of the most selling books in the world. Her books are.
Oh, she's a current living philosopher.
No, she's not living right now. She's a top philosopher.
Oh, okay, okay. When was the time frame? I actually have never heard of her before.
Uh, she's before 1950, like that.
Oh, no, yeah, but she's still a recent philosopher. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's pretty. Every philosopher I had in mind, was like Rousseau, like, that's like what, 14, no, 1500s.
Yeah,
Then, Socrates, that's like way back in the
correct,
day.
correct.
Uh, so what is what you said the virtue of, what was that?
Selfishness.
Can you elaborate on that? I've never heard. This is all new to me. If you can go on about that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, she born in Russia and she moved to United States long back, and she's an Russian who taught Americans about America.
She's a Russian that taught Americans about America.
Yeah.
Okay.
So starting from the basic, starting from the fundamental, she started with a human being and she ended with the world, with the universe.
What do you mean that she started with a human being?
I mean, how the development, how the society runs, how the countries runs, how the rules are, why rules are came, what is human emotion. She started with the emotion. What is emotion? Why human gets a certain emotion, and what the reasons why. She talked about human body, physical body, and she talked about mental body, and she connected both, and she said how a human develops his personality. She spent her lifetime in observing humans and societies in different countries, and her philosophies is everywhere today. Her philosophy, what she said, but when in the beginning she has a lot of criticism, but her philosophy has practical application. So when anybody, any human being who follows her philosophy will definitely uh, get some kind of a positive effect in their life. For example, I got affected because of her philosophy. The philosophy of her of her is, you expect something from other person, and other person is not you. That person have his or her own way of thinking. You will expect something from that person, and that person is not your expectation. Reality is different from what you imagine. So imagination and reality will never match. So what you imagine is, the world is in your mind. The world is no more, it doesn't exist. The world doesn't exist except your own mind. What you think, what you believe, nobody believes in the world. You are there to express. You are there what you feel like saying, your thoughts, and you just say. That's it. And the fight between human beings is because of our differences in thoughts and differences in way of thinking. So when you're right, there is no right and wrong in between human. Actually, right and wrong is created by human being. Emotions are created by God, and rules are created by man.
What does she mean by, what do you think she meant by rules, emotions are made by God?
Emotions are something which are inherent, which we have, which comes from the birth. And the rules that we kept, you should not cross this line, you should not do this. Marriage system, and societal rules. You can take any rule, education system, or the business, how to do business. So any system, there are a lot of systems in the society. So she is talking about every system. All the systems are came from the human's mind. All the system rules are came from the human mind. Human created these rules to in order to run the society, in order to uh, uh, systematic rules. What is system? That system have certain rules. You have to follow these kind of rules. When you're joining in a company as an employee, you have to follow these rules. You have to talk this, you should not talk this. So actually she talked more about freedom. Freedom is very very important for human being, and rules are suppressing it. And she's against to anything that is against to freedom.
And what is her definition of anything against freedom?
She wants to live like she wanted. If she wants to love a guy who is she's 54 age, and she loved a 24 years guy, and she already have a husband whose name is Frank O'Connor. And she convinced that husband uh, by saying that I don't want to cheat you by loving other guy, uh, by without knowing you. I just want to be honest with you because I respect you. You are taking care of me from long time. So I want to tell you this, and I want to uh, be with this guy because he works under me. I'm feeling so connected with that guy. So I decided to be with that guy. So if you are loving me, if you really want my happiness, if you want to see my smile, you have to allow me to be with this person. So she convinced her own husband, and he don't know what to do until other than getting convinced. And he can't show himself to the society, and he cannot say no to her lovely wife because he loves a lot. So that is what she's very good in convincing.
So the husband wasn't okay with it, but he just more had to go with it.
He don't have a reason to say no.
He doesn't have a reason to say no. I can think of a couple
Yeah.
reasons to say no,
Yeah,
but
you can say that, but there is no reason. Because if you really love the person, you have to give what she loves or he loves.
yeah, but don't you think the argument can be made that her love isn't 100% there if she has to seek like some type of surrogate love from another person? So like he's giving 100%, whereas she's giving like 65%.
Yeah, but that guy, it is between them. It is between they it is the connection. They have that convincing, that guy can't say no to her. So other person may say no to other person, but he can't say that because he loves her a lot. He said okay.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I more thought that like that you meant that there is no reason period why he would say no, but you're saying that like he couldn't overcome like
Yeah,
his love for her was so genuine that he himself could not say no.
Yeah, and at the same time, he don't have right to expect love from her too.
Okay.
He can't expect the love. He can love her, but he can't expect the love.
I
Love
mean,
is something that comes. Love is a feeling, and feeling should come. It is not that if you're forcing that person to feel about you. So that is what that
no, yeah,
he cannot say no.
that woman sounds like a gangster.
She's
Yeah, she sounds
no,
awesome. Her
she's being
her
honest.
yeah,
She's
that
being honest.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's not a derogatory term. Like she like that's not like her. She sounds like a what was her name again?
Ayn Rand.
Yeah, I need to look her up.
Yeah,
I like her. I like what she's saying. That's really cool.
yeah.
What else? You were saying that there were a lot of things that she talked about the emotion. What else about the emotion that she went into?
There are two types of people in the world. One type is the people who controls their emotions. Other people are the people
Slaves
who
of
are
emotions.
controlled by their emotions,
Okay.
controlled by their emotions. So
Now that's interesting. I philosophically stand that like there is not like a way that just people are. I think everyone is controlled by their emotions. If you were to put a person that says like, oh yeah, I'm 100% control of my emotions, and then put their favorite dog in front of them, and then put somebody like a villain and put a gun to that dog's head, is that person really gonna not act on their emotions? It's innate. It's human nature to like want to like overcome something like that. Even if some people require that extreme in order to act on their emotions, it will overcome at some point. I stand on the thing that for the for the most for the most I can't say for the no yeah I would honestly um for the most part I think people generally are almost slave to their emotions, and I don't think it's a thing that is a thing that people can overcome. I think it's an innate part of being human. It's like that you have emotions and they're like a thing that over like I remember when I was a kid, I loved that concept. I thought that was I definitely laid more on that philosophy that there were certain people that could and certain people that couldn't. And I remember I just try to think ultimately just logically. And I still do think like a very logically, but at some point it's just like you have to realize that even like your own logic, when you're thinking logically, a lot of that can come from emotion. If you personally think a certain like belief, you will logic that belief that comes from a core of emotion. You'll apply logic to that belief, and it's like
right, that's you're right. You're right. What you said is right. Every logic is coming from a particular emotion.
well, yeah, I can't say every, but I feel like there's like because there are certain things that you can't think about are just logical, right? If we were to talk about like science and like aliens and things like that, we don't have emotions to aliens. I mean, I guess you could like stand on the belief that you could either really want to believe in aliens or not want to believe in aliens. So I guess that's an emotion. Fair,
Belief,
but
belief is also emotion.
no, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Belief is an emotion, but like for the
Yeah,
most part, I think like two scientists could easily sit down and talk about aliens, and there would be no emotion there because they're really thinking about like the math and like all right, well this and that. And I think there are certain thoughts that could be made that are 100% just logical solutions. I think humans are
yeah,
capable of that, but I think that if you believe that that type of thing is capable of a human, that a human is only capable of logic, then that's crazy because even just like their logical emotions could be based off like well like I just said, even their logical thoughts can be based off an emotion. But
yeah,
even that is true because like what Iran was that her name?
yeah,
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 what she was saying, what I think what she meant is that there are people that just take it to a certain extremes because we do see that all the time, right? You see it on the news a lot where there are people that you say one little thing and they're like, oh, what do you mean blah blah, and they just explode. Those people obviously are on another level of not being able to control their emotions. So there
yeah,
is a gauge. There are people that you'll be able to like tell them something hurtful and they can just look at you and be like, okay, I understand what you meant by that, and they won't be offended by it and they'll be able to think about it logically. and those type of people exist. And then there are the people that you say one little thing like, oh hey man, your shoes are untied. Oh yeah, my shoes are untied. They just go crazy. So like I think that's what she meant, that there is that like huge disparity in between humans. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I understood what you said. My point is here. I have experience. I'm telling just my experience. I don't have any judgment on anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling my experience. You can take. You can understand what you can take from it. I had talked with 250 people, 250 different thinking people,
Yep.
and the common thing that I observed is emotion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
They wrote. They are authors. They wrote. They one person wrote about crime. One person wrote about fiction. One person wrote about his friend's story. One person is talking about society. One person is talking about love. So like every person is talking about different things, and every person is telling uh, their story. The story is emotion, and they are telling it logically in the book.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, when you want to write a story, and you have to put it in a certain form to make the reader, or you are expressing your story.
I understand what you're
You are
saying. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
you're
like
telling your story.
the content of the writing itself is emotionally packed. It's emotionally driven 100%. But then
Correct,
in order to actually create it, you have to be logical about it. You have to sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna do
correct,
2 hours of writing a day. I'm gonna do
correct,
this. I have to market it. I have to get my publicist. Yeah, you
correct,
are right. It's an emotional platform, but it has to be. You have to think about it very logically in the way you execute it.
correct, correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. And by the way, what we're the whole thing about philosophy is that this is a discussion. I'm not married to my thoughts at all, right? It's more than okay to
Okay,
disagree with one another and like have like a back and forth with with like thoughts. More than open. You can easily be like, oh no, I disagree with what you're saying, and like give me your point of view. I want that. I definitely want that. It's like a philosophical discourse. Know what I mean?
okay, okay.
So moving on to what you were talking about, you said that you wrote, well, that you interviewed a lot of authors, right?
Yes,
So in that, do you have would you say you're an avid reader?
I don't read books actually.
Oh, you don't.
No, I listen to people, but I don't read.
Okay. Do you listen to audiobooks by any chance, by or anything?
I listen to people directly.
Okay. So when you interview these authors, you usually just like you don't read any of their thing as a preparation for the interview. You just like talk to them
No,
about their craft and their passion.
correct, correct. The second one is correct.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So what is something that you've taken away from these authors? Because you yourself write, right? Do you
Yeah,
think that do you think that your experience has increased through these interviews? Do you think that your own
yeah, 100%. Yeah, there is a lot of change in me as a communicator. I Now I got confidence that I can talk with any human being who is living on any part of the planet, because I can. The only thing that I should have in order to live on this planet is listening. Listening is the best skill, and listening, and while somebody is talking, you have to listen in order to understand. When you understand, you can give response for that. You have to give time to the person to speak. When there is a uh, when there is proper give and take between two human beings, this is what communication is. So that is what I understood when I changed a lot as a human being. I started listening to the emotions of the other person. After listening to them, they started listening to me, because I'm giving respect. Everybody wants somebody to listen to their emotions. So when you listen to them, they listen to you. So that is why the reason I grown very rapidly. That quality in me in just 5 months, I got 33,000 plus minutes views and 250 plus international followers, and I got 25,000 Twitter followers.
25,000?
25,000, yeah.
Really? So
Yeah,
your
you can
Twitter
overdo it. You can
your
overdo it.
so your Twitter is significantly a bigger account than Instagram.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%. Yeah, yeah.
okay. Why do you think that is?
Why do I think that is bigger?
Yeah, why do you think you're so much larger on Twitter than on Instagram? Because on Instagram you're actually able to like to post. You have like a wall and you have like a post of like all the videos. I would think that since you're posting it directly onto IGTV, you would have a much larger following on that. Do you
Yeah.
on Twitter? Do you use that more as like a platform to like tweet your thoughts? Like how why would you say that Twitter is such a significant more follower boost for you?
I understood is there are a lot of people in the Twitter than Instagram. I That is my personal feeling. We can't share more than the particular number of percentage of video, but we can share the links through the Twitter only. I got all the views, but we can't share the link in the IGTV or in Instagram anywhere. We have to share only the videos, right? So I got I reached more people only because of Twitter.
Okay, how did you use Twitter?
How do I use Twitter?
Yeah.
With my mobile.
Like no, how do you use Twitter? Like do you use that as a platform to tweet every time that you have a new guest? Do you use it as a platform to use your own thoughts? Because obviously you philosophize a lot about things. Do you use
Yeah.
it as a platform to, do you wake up and tweet a random thought that you have? Or how do you use the platform?
Whatever you said, I do everything.
Hmm?
Whatever you said just now about Twitter, I said I do everything. I express my thoughts. I share the links. I'll tell everything there. Whatever comes in my mind, it can be a link, it can be a thought, it can be a video link, it can be video, or I'll share. I'll use all the options. There is whatever the Twitter is offering us.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And would you say that everything kind of correlates? Like the moment that you was did your Twitter increase your YouTube? Was your YouTube that made your Twitter? Like how like which one was the one that gave that boost into everything?
Yeah, Twitter gave me a lot of followers and subscribers actually. Twitter and Instagram too.
No, like I said, did it how did it correlate? Like did your videos come up and then you use Twitter to boost your YouTube, and then did you
Correct.
notice a rise in your YouTube videos because of Twitter, or do you notice a rise in Twitter because of YouTube? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. In the beginning days, I used to upload the videos, and I got followers and subscribers, but in less number. But once I started sharing on Twitter, the number increased.
Okay. Now that's
Yeah.
interesting. So you felt that the community on Twitter like really rapidly responded. So you would say that you have like a good community as well. It's not just a follower account, but you have people that
Yes.
genuinely want and listen and love listening to the way that you dissect people's brains.
Correct. They love me actually. Everybody, if you see all the all the videos on my Instagram, I'll put what they feel about my videos. If you see, that is tremendous response for any beginner. I think I'm blessed with that. I don't know how I got that quality, and it is also that I have a good. One person said that you have a face on your you have a smile on your face which connects with everybody, and you have a visual that can connect with every human on different. That's why the reason people are coming and talking with you. Not everybody have the same. Some people have only voice. Some people have only visual, and some people have only speaking. But I think you are a mixture of everything. That's why the reason you are reaching. Even I don't know until I started it. So I am understanding more about myself once I broken the wall and I started coming on before the camera and started doing it. I came to know about me more after listening to the people about my videos.
No, that's interesting. Can you go a little bit more on that?
I started because of my hairstyle. I put green color, so that is one of the reasons why people are clicking on the video on the link, and uh, because of the thumbnails that I'll put flags. Indian talking with chatting with a German, chatting with a United States author, chatting with a England podcaster. So chatting with a Australian author. So chatting with uh, uh, American Army official person and like that. So because of the names that I give to the so this is interesting for a lot of people. It's also one country person talking with other country person, seeing and listening both. People can connect easily if they see, right? So I think everything came into that. I never expected that, but that worked. I don't know why it is working. Actually, it doesn't work for most of the people. I don't know it's working.
Well, like I said, the thing that I wanted you to elaborate on was more how you felt that you grew by talking to people.
Okay, so I'll talk based upon their introduction. First, they introduce themselves.
No, I meant how you grew as a person, not how you conduct your interview. How did you grow philosophically as a person by talking to these people?
Because obviously I will know experiences of uh, different country people, and knowing their experiences. I used to I every human have problems. I used to have problems. Then after listening to them, I understood that my problems are not that tougher than their problems, so I can still live. I don't need to harm myself. I don't need to affect myself. Whenever I do a video on that night, in the morning I feel like this day is very bad. Somebody did spoke with me in a proper way, or my work is not done 100%. When I talk with them, they say a bigger problem than mine, so I feel like okay. So I can sleep. There are people who are living somewhere and have tough problems than me. One girl is crying on the video. I felt like at least I'm not crying.
Why
At
is
least
she
I'm not crying.
why was she crying?
She was crying because she have concern about the poor people in the society in her country. So they don't have food to eat. uh, she wants to help, and she was very angry about the rich people. Everybody, the rich people have 6 to 7 cars, very big cars, and these people don't even have to eat the food. The government is just not caring these people, and the rich people are growing, and she's crying. She got emotional by seeing a small telling a story about a small child in Africa.
Wow.
And that was her emotion. I projected. I felt very happy because I projected a real emotion. And cry I cannot create, right, in a video. I cannot make somebody to cry. That is a automatic feeling that when they I love people to talk. I just don't put in don't put any particular duration of time to talk with a person. I don't have any rules like you have to talk only for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Based upon, some people can talk only for 10 minutes. Some people are like even can talk more than 1.5 hour. So it depends on the conversation and depends on what they are. Experienced people have more things to say. One guy is called Rex Sykes. He's a philosopher. He's a writer. He published more than 4 to 5 books, very deep books. Like very, it contains a lot of deep information. So like that, they talk more than 1 hour. So I have to be a listener. I should not talk. I have to be silent for most of the time. So all these experiences changed a lot, physically, mentally. The management, money management. So I used to think that I am poor. uh, I used to feel like I don't have good clothes to wear, or somebody is richer than me, or somebody is better than me. After listening to all these 250 people, I think I'm far better than a lot of people in the world. That is what I understood. Then obviously me doing this inspired a lot of people to start their career and breaking their rules. They used to be in a particular zone, and why can't we do something like this guy? He's doing something, and we should also do something that we can do. So there is a lot of thing I cannot say, and my target is to do 4,000 videos. This is just 250 videos. After 4,000 videos, I want you to ask the same question. I'm sure you will get more information about the 4,700 videos.
Oh yeah, well,
3,700.
yeah, you can definitely come back on whenever. I have a similar format. I don't have any particular time of length. I've had episodes go on for like 4 hours. Just people like,
Awesome.
yeah, just like people like talk, and I'm especially just like authors. I mean, I love conversation. What would you say is something that you've taken away? Because you said that you have grown in the episodes per episode, just being able to talk to people. Would you say that your first episode was kind of like shaky in your communication, and then you got progressively better as you went on? Or would
Actually, I
you say
was
that
a
you were
writer
great
before speaker. Yeah, before speaking, this is YouTube I'm speaking. But before this, I was a writer since last 3 years. I have
writing
two
what?
personal blogs.
Oh, personal
Writing
blog. Okay.
about the technical. Smartcsc.com is my previous website, which I lost. The data was lost for some reason, and in that I wrote about 4,000 posts. That is how I improved my English. And as a writer, I'm already very good in understanding the words and framing the sentences, framing how to talk. I'm become very good communicator because of writing. Once I started speaking, then I came to know that my writing helped me a lot in speaking. So for the beginning videos, when I started, already I have a writing experience for 3 to 4 years. I was a professional writer, and my website went very very well in the Google. So I got very good ranking, and I used to get thousands of views for my blog posts. So because of my social media, my websites went very very far. So because of writing, the beginning videos are not that tough for me. Like it's I felt very very comfortable. But the people with whom I interviewed in the beginning, they are shy to camera. They feel shy, but I made them feel comfortable. And slowly I changed a lot as a speaker. I changed the way I'm talking. I changed the words that I have to use and I should not use. And as the videos are growing, I'm growing as a communicator. I can't say that one day I have changed completely. It is a 5 to 6 years process. The writing and speaking made me to be wherever I am.
That is awesome. Now, what I want to what I wanted to ask you about was more kind of how could you measure that progression, right? How did you get better? What was the actual metric that you could say like, okay, that is what I got better in?
Speaking.
I understand, but in what part of communication? How?
uh, I'm understanding the emotions of the human being. I'm understanding their experiences, different experiences. I'm knowing the different experiences of different uh, people who lives in different places.
Yep.
That is new for me. That's completely new for my life, actually.
Yep. 200 different 50 countries. So and again, we have to keep on promoting your YouTube channel, Smart Cherry's Thoughts. You need to check this out. All these different people that he needs to talk to. Obviously, awesome interviewer. But what I want is because I study conversation. I the way the things that you're talking about are things that I think about often, but you're kind of glazing over the highlights. I'm asking more kind of like to go in depth of what conversation, like how it can be portrayed in between people, right? So I'll give you
Yeah,
an example. Um, one of the things that you said was very true in the way that in the way of studying emotion, right?
yeah,
Most people think that a good conversationalist, a person that can speak a lot, is a person that can just talk for a long time. That's not necessarily true. A person that's good at conversation is a person that's good at listening, right? Because you'll be able to talk to a person,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll be able to find whatever that person is passionate about and get that person to talk. I have also dealt with a lot of people that are shy, and the way that you kind of crack that shell is to get that person talking about whatever they're passionate about.
Correct.
Most, even people that are shy, every person has a passion. Even people that are shy don't want to, and don't, and are more introverted, and aren't as intricate or articulate and expressing their thoughts or emotions, they have something they want to talk about. It's just not as, it's just not as accepted in society as what people are ready to talk about. Most people want to talk about the weather and the sports and like, oh, da, 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 da. Most people are just, don't want to talk about that. They're in their head. Whereas if you find that thing they're passionate about, you can get a person, it's like a faucet. They can just start talking out of nowhere, right?
Correct. Correct.
So in that vein, what is something that you took away from your interviews?
Yeah, a lot of people have passion, to express themselves, to tell what they wanted to do and what they are experiencing. But because of this shy and fear of camera, fear of showing themselves to the world, lot of people didn't came to talk. Actually, a lot of my friends rejected my proposal when I asked them to talk with me. A lot of people rejected, but now after doing 250 country people, 250 people, now if they are asking, I don't want them to be on my show because I don't think they are very good communicators, because than me right now, because I was a very good communicator in the beginning, and I put a proposal. They rejected it because I don't know the reason, but after growing, they are coming and asking me, why can't they are sending me messages right now that saying that we are ready to talk. We are because I have more bigger opportunities. There are a lot of people who are very big, who did PhD, who did who are next the
Yeah,
governor of
you
Canada,
got a bigger
the Canada.
following. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Now I have like public speakers like who are already uh, got a certification, like who are already into that from years, like 60 years, 50 years, are very good communicators compared to 27 because of the experience that they have, that the way they talk. I feel very very comfortable, and I have a lot of to learn from very experienced people because they lived on this planet for a long time. Obviously they have more information than I have, so they have a lot of things to say. So I can talk with them and know a lot of things with them, but not with the people who studied with me. Whatever I know, they know the same.
Now, you don't think that's slightly a little bit of spite as well, though? Just
Spy.
yeah, a little bit, because they contacted you and they rejected you, and now that you're bigger and they want to contact you, you don't want to do it. Is it really because of communication, or more because of kind of like, screw you?
I don't think they have better information. Like I don't think I become very after 250 videos. You talking with very deep thinkers, you will expect a more deep thinker. Obviously, I will expect. I also want to learn. It is not that I just want to speak. I want to learn something, something that I don't know. But they are not that big. What is big? Big is when they do something from their comfort zone, when they break it and when they come out, they will. I can talk with them because I can talk about how you broken that, what made you to break that, why you did that, and what was your thought while breaking that. So I have a lot of questions to ask them. These people, I will become the speaker and they will be the listener. I don't want to be that. I want to be the listener. I want to other person to be the speaker, so that I want them to talk for a long time.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's like the main goal of just anything, right? It's not
Correct.
really about getting it's not really about proposing some crazy conversation. It's more about, it's kind of like setting train tracks. You're setting the train tracks for the other person to keep on talking, and just
Correct.
allow the train to keep rolling down. And just, if you can do it well, it's not, it's like a magic trick. You don't, you can just keep on, It's like a ball's already rolling, and all you have to keep on doing is just like pushing the top of it instead of moving a
Correct.
boulder up a mountain. You know?
Correct. You started from one, and now you are 10. You have to look up to the 11th step. You should not see the first step. Now you did something. You have to grow. That is what I believe. You are 27 today. I'm 27 today. So after next year, you have to increase the number. What you have learned, you have to learn something. You have to say something which nobody did or nobody said. So only when you have experience, when you do that, you will have a lot of things to say. And I want to know from the great person. And also I'll propose to still I'll get rejections, but I am getting rejections from the very big people. I'm okay. Rejections will be every time in my life. That's I'm habituated to that.
That's awesome. Although I do have to say, so basically what you're saying is that you don't take people that you feel have smaller following now. You only take bigger things now.
Yeah, 100%. I have a
Okay.
reason for that. I have a reason for that because they become influencers. They got followers because they are affecting people
No,
with their
no. I
communication
mean,
skills. Or
I
yeah,
get the idea. It's like they have larger following, so they bring you more following, and everything grows as the channel. But
yeah,
isn't the aim to like speak to all walks of life in different of their following status? I've talking to people that have some crazy level of followers too, and I've had some awesome interviews with them. But I've also had interviews with people that have like 100 something followers, and their interviews were just as awesome. I mean, all people are awesome, you know.
yeah, yeah. I'll tell you something. I
What?
did a video with 40,000 followers. I did a video with
Christ.
100 followers who have 100 followers, and they are. I gave the same respect to them, which means
But
it
how?
is my personal interest.
When did he record it? Was the 100? Did he record the person with the 40,000
Yes.
after the person with the
No.
100, or was it
The
before?
very the 3 days after 3 days.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so that's definitely I agree with the same thing. You have to have like a genuine respect. Just the way I thought of making this podcast was just because I'm a weirdo. I strike up conversations and I'll have long conversations with just the most innate people. When in college in Boston, there's a lot of homeless people, and when we would get like drunk and just like walk around the city at night, just like
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
and like laughing, I would strike up genuine conversations with like homeless people, and we would.
correct,
I learned like some cool stuff. Honestly, I know it's like kind of like weird to say, but just like the way that they talked about it, not all homeless people are some crazy, like negative
correct,
thing that you think
correct,
about it. It's just like situation based.
correct,
And
correct.
and obviously I went to like university, so I've had long conversations with like my professors about like life and whatever. Like I was also that weirdo that I would like because I didn't like doing my homework, so like my way of kind of like kissing up to the teacher would be like, hey, I would like go to their office and we would like like talk for like an hour and a half, and then I would be like, hey, by the way, I didn't do that homework, and they'd be like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, forget about it. I'd be like, hey, homie,
yeah,
I'd,
yeah,
I'd walk out, and that was just like I don't know. It's just like I love talking and interacting with people, and you're kin, right? You're the same type of way. How did
yes,
that start for you? How did that initial inspiration to start doing this happen? So you started. I have it plotted out. You started with your blog post in order to gain your familiarity with the English language.
correct,
Then after 4 years of doing that, 4,000 blog posts, you went ahead and you felt comfortable enough to advance onto the YouTube section, which was the actual communicating with people and recording them and recording
correct,
the interview sessions, right?
correct,
When
correct,
did that go from there to then? Because there's a huge difference between writing on a blog post and then going around and talking to people. Extremely
correct.
different. Writing is just you writing. It's just your head. There's no person going back. You don't have to listen to the interview to you know because what you were saying is 100, like nothing that I do is scripted, right? Everything that I've asked you is questions that based off what you've talked to me about. There's no
Correct.
questions I have on a list and I'm like waiting for you to ask. I'm just asking you, we're
Yeah,
friends right now. We're at a bar, you know, we're hanging out. That's
correct,
how I think about it. You know what I mean?
correct, correct, correct,
You know what I mean? We're just hanging out, and
correct.
we're recording the conversation because I'm genuinely interested in you as a person, and that's how the conversation continues progressing, right?
Correct. And I want to mention here something. I did a video with a 17-year-old girl from Australia,
Yeah, me
and
too, actually. Probably
yeah,
the same one.
yeah, same. That is what I am observing in you too. You come under the same category where I am. I did 17 years old girl video with 17 years old girl. I came to know her thoughts, and I did video with 75 years old,
Yeah.
which is completely different. As a human being, I live in on this planet. There are different age groups, so I want to try anything different, like anything random. Like, for example, I did video with marine biology. Marine biology, that is not my subject. I'm computer science student, I'm an IT guy. What should I do with the marine biology? But I thought, how, let's try something. Let's propose. And he's fantastic. He accepted my request. Then the conversation went. Then I got a lot of compliments, because me talking with marine biology and knowing about the fishes, underwater animals, and knowing about the new species that he got from his 30 years. So then I started that, knowing that, like, 100 followers, 1,000 followers, 1 million followers, doesn't matter. Do something that you didn't do yesterday. That is new. New is the definition of new is, do you're seeing something, you're listening to something that you didn't listened or seen for the before. Something you're hearing or seeing for the first time is new. And I love new, and I'll try new, and I'll be new. And in my YouTube channel, in my channel, it is going to be new. New means I won't do the same. it will be it will be different every day. I will wait for the new. If that person is not accepting, or if he gives more date, I won't do videos. Even if I have other authors, like, I don't want to bore. I already created impact by telling my followers and subscribers that I am going to do every time, every day. Every thought of mine is new. And I'll not do the same every day. I hate the same word. I hate same. I'll do new. New means that I didn't do yesterday. What I didn't do, that is new for me, and I'll do new every time. And in coming days, I have a lot of thoughts, like American police officer. I want to interview American police, and Canadian governor, and I want to do video with Donald Trump. I tried, and it's, I'm always putting goals very big. I'm trying to every official, like every different politician, army person, Hollywood director. I did with a video with Hollywood director, and I did video with a guy who was involved in organized crime, who is called as Hollywood mob boss, Oris Pado. And if you type, he's very very dangerous, one of the dangerous criminals. And now he became author. And he said his experience. So that is marine biology, author, army, politician, singer, musician. So this is what me. I'm collection of everything.
Very awesome. What is your interest? Like, what are your genres? What are your things that like that? So, you interviewed a person that makes film. Do you watch films? Do you like movies?
It's not like I'll just see it and that's it. I just observe it and just leave it. There is no like or dislike. I just see, because that is their interest. There is no such thing. Every day I'll change my interest. I'll change. There is no particular thing that I'll be stick to. If I would have like that, I like this. I want to do this. There is no such thing. Whatever is coming, I'm going in the flow. I'm in a flow. I'm in a water flow. Water comes, that is my interest.
Right, but like everyone, I mean, that shirt, right? You like that shirt. That's like your interest. Your hair is dyed blonde. That's your interest. You're not waking up tomorrow and changing it, green or whatever. I mean, like you have the possibility, but that's not like a thing. Your interest is that at the moment, right? So, what is like? So what you're saying is that you're not really a huge like dissector of movies. Like you see a movie and you really don't have any emotions for it.
Yes, correct. At that particular time, I just watched it, and next time, next movie.
Wow. So you watch a movie and have no feelings for it.
No feelings. Why would I have feeling? The movie is just a imagination of a person. So he just created what he imagined that have no physical form.
I mean, couldn't you make the same logic about religion?
Religion is also emotion. I don't have any emotion on. I don't have any emotion on anything. I don't have a constant uh, emotion, like a constant feeling on anything, because everything is changing. You change, I change. The For example, I'll put a ball here, and because of the air, or because of the wind, or because of some force, it moves. It is not in the same place. So nothing is. Same in the world. Actually, everything is changing. Why we have to stick to? Nobody sticks. Actually, they say that I interested, but next day they'll have another interest. That's why the reason there is a lot of things happening in the world. Only one person will do 10,000 things in a day. Actually,
What?
one person will do 10,000 things in a day with by knowing or without knowing.
What do you mean?
Like doing brushing teeth, and waking up in the morning, and talking with a person,
Who
or
said that?
doing our brain. The brain will do a lot of things. The cells in our body will move.
No, but where did you
Will
get that number from? Where are you getting that quote from? 10,000.
10,000. It is approximate.
Oh,
More
okay,
than
okay.
that, maybe less than
I
that.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I thought
Uh,
you were getting me a quote.
No,
Okay, I see what you're
it is
saying.
just I'm telling, maybe 1 lakh or maybe lesser, but I'm just telling that a lot of things they'll do. Human being with his body, mentally, physically, he'll do a lot of things in a day which he may remember or may not remember. A lot of things happens in his body and his thinking. According to me, at least for me, I observed a lot of things I'll do in a day. So I can't remember everything. So everything changes. Actually, nothing is same. Climate is changing. COVID was not there, and now COVID is there. So in next year it may be another virus. So everything is changing. The situations, the people, the constitution, the rules, the society, and climate, and water color, and the trees, and the roads, everything is changing. So sticking to something, having an emotion and developing emotion on a particular thing for a long time, I don't think nobody will have a particular emotion on anything for a long time. It doesn't happen, because emotion is something which will be there for a particular time, and after that, after any emotion can be is a temporary.
You think emotion is temporary.
Yes, it may come after again, but
Do you know
it
how many
in
wars are still going on because of emotion currently right now?
war.
I mean, everything that's happening in like the Gaza Strip has been an ongoing war for like 300 years because one side has an emotional tie to land and the other side doesn't feel that that side has that right to that land. That's an emotional investment and that's been lasting for like since Bible times.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. The emotion, for example, I have a particular emotion right now. So once I complete this video, I can't continue the same emotion. After this, I'll do some other work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that, in 1 hour I'll do something. In another hour I'll do something like this. That is just they just it's they'll see something like you said, war. When they think about war, they will get that emotion. If they don't think about the war, they won't get emotion. The emotion will be there only when they think, and they can't think the same all the time. There will be different thoughts in a brain.
I see what you're saying. Okay. That like the emotions are temporary within the human being.
Yeah, it may come like you said. In the morning I got a war thought, and I got the extreme emotion. I become extremely emotional. No, I want to hit this. I want to throw a negative comment on a particular country person or country, or I will become emotional, but that
Why?
will be for that.
Where did
Yeah.
that negativity come from?
I mean, war. What is war? You are against to something.
Say that
You
again?
are against to something. War. What is war?
Mm-hmm.
War means you are fighting with something. You are
Right.
against to something.
No, I hear you. No, no, but you said that you woke up in the morning with like a that you felt like a negative thing that you wanted to comment. Where did that come from?
Negative is something that you feel when when something is happening that you don't like.
No,
That
I understand. But where did you get that? You said in the morning you woke up with a negative emotion, right?
Yeah,
What I'm asking, where did that come from?
war. When you said about war, I said emotion. The negative emotion is connected with war. I just was giving that line because of war that you said.
Oh, so I gave you the negative emotion, is what you're saying by saying war.
It's it is an example. It can be negative or it can be positive. The emotion, it can be negative or positive. I'm just telling about the war. War. What is war? War is between the fight between people, the fight between a particular set of people. So it can be one person, one person is fighting with other person or agreeing or disagreeing. So that is what war is. So agreeing, disagreeing is also coming from a particular emotion. That is what that positive and negative emotion in me. I wake up in the morning and I have this negative emotion that I disagree with what he is saying. So that is negative emotion for me.
But you said that you woke up this morning with a negative emotion.
No, when I know, when I get the thought again in the morning, the war thought, automatically I disagree. Then I'll start, I'll feel negative.
So what you're saying is that when you wake up tomorrow, you're gonna have like you're gonna wake up thinking that the negative thing was from right now with the war comment.
War, when you said about the war, I said negative.
So when I said about the war, you took it as a negative, is what you're saying.
I didn't took, I just told. It can be negative or it can be positive feeling. You know, it can be negative feeling or it can be. What is negative feeling? Negative is anger, fear, and disagreement. Whatever the negative feeling that makes that creates a body to feel stress. Stress is a negative feeling. You know, the positive feelings are smile, laugh, and being energetic, and the jealousy comes under the negative emotion. So like that I said you have different feelings on different things. War is one of those.
Oh, you're saying that we have different feelings on war, but I didn't really say anything about war.
Just I said I just continued what you said. Okay, I will be more specific from now. I think the word that I said made you to ask me again. I will be more specific. I said negative. When I wake up in the morning, I get a negative thought. Why I get negative thought, negative emotion? Because yesterday I have that I created that mindset, like about war I have disagreement. I am against to some person. So I felt fear, I felt anger, I felt something. And when I wake up in the morning and I when I listen to that person, when that thought comes again, the war thought, I should do war, or some I'm listening about the war, the emotion generates in me again because I was disagreed yesterday. I was negative yesterday.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I understand what you're saying now. So you had already been thinking about that before.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, I didn't know. Okay, okay. Wow. So, and then how did you overcome that negative emotion then? You see, now that's very interesting. How did you overcome that feeling?
When we understand that nothing is, nothing is going to be
That
same.
nothing is going to be long. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a really good way of thinking about it. Now, I think you glazed over it a little bit. You said something that you yourself were writing a book, right? Or did I
Yeah.
misinterpret that? What can
I write blog.
right, but you said that are you gonna turn that into a book? Are you gonna turn that into a novel and like some type of nonfiction work to elaborate on like your philosophies and your guiding principle? Because you live out. I mean, it's kind of awesome, like seeing like the passing cars and like the motorbikes and like the people. You have your window open. I'm like seeing it like right behind you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you know, yeah, you obviously have a very different. Well, I can't say. I mean, like you have the same type of life for billions of people around you. But
correct.
for me, I can't really elaborate. You live a very different life than what I live. I can imagine there are billions of people that would love to hear your point of view on like life and like your struggles and like what you ever overcome within your life. So do you think you'll ever do that in like a novel form and just an actual type of written down, 50 to 60,000 words, editor, publisher, do everything you're gonna do that?
I think it takes a lot of time. Actually, it consumes a lot of time. Maybe when I be completely free, like I have no work on some time, I will write. But I am occupied with a lot of works these days. Maybe for 10 or 20 years, I don't know. Right now, I don't have thought. But definitely, if I write it, definitely it is going to create impact. I know that, but I don't have that much time. I don't know. First thing, I don't know how to publish. I know how to write blogs. I'm into tech field. I know I'm writing, but I don't know about writing books. I'm talking with people who wrote books, and they talk about publishing, and they I'm not into. I didn't do a degree in writing. I didn't do. I'm not a professional writer. I didn't studied about it. I just say what I think and what I believe. So I don't think I come under those category who did degrees in that. So
Well,
maybe
my degree is
some.
not in writing either. I'm an electromechanical engineer.
Okay, you're a mechanical engineer. Okay,
Electromechanical engineer.
electromechanical. Okay, okay, okay.
And yeah, and I do writing for science fiction because I'm a huge like science fiction person. But my minor is in business and psychology. So I mean, like
Great.
I don't think it really has anything to do
Correct.
with like major or anything
Complete
like that.
different.
Yeah, it just has to be like with what you're doing in like literature. You know what I mean? It has to be like your voice. A lot of people that are great. So uh, I mean, I don't think Stephen King has a degree in writing. I know Adam Scott doesn't. I mean, like a lot of people don't. It's just like kind of like your own voice. And then I think you have a really cool voice. And from what you're saying with all your listeners and followers on the blog, I think it would be a really cool thing to have like a little like novel, especially that like it's something that like from a business perspective is actually something that you can actually point to and get like an actual income from. Blog posts you get like a lot of money from like advertisements and like followers income, but as a book is a direct source. Let's think about it. You spend like
Yeah,
an hour, 2 hours a day for like a year and a half writing a book. You have your book by the end of it, you drop like what $500 on like a cover, some editing, things like that. Then that's well, so round that up to like 600. So you spent a year and a half and $600. Then you put that up on for like what $5 each. So even if you sell like 20 copies, you know, that's already some like decent change right in your pocket, and that's direct. And that's only and like you only have to sell those 20 copies in your first month, and then literally after that, it's just money. It's like residual. It's like a residual checks. You just get that money forever. Like for like every time a random person goes like, "Hey, look at this book," and clicks on, that's $5 in your pocket forever.
correct,
You know what I
correct,
mean? Well,
correct. Yeah,
I'm just thinking I'm just that's just my business mind going off on that part. But it's just like there's different venues, and I definitely think you have the talent for it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Understood. Yeah. I'll write maybe someday. Definitely. The book name is Smart Cherry's Thoughts. Same. I'll
Say that
put the
again.
same name. Smart Cherry's Thoughts.
Oh, you have a book title. You're gonna call it Smarter Stops.
Smart Cherry's Thoughts, which is my YouTube channel name
Oh,
right now.
and you're gonna name the book that.
The same name I'll put
Yeah,
and I'll
yeah,
write
that's
it.
awesome. And then like I can even think of the cover. You have like a nice little like cherry, and
Correct.
then like a little dude, and then like you come on, it's right there. Go for it, man. What are you waiting for? You know you're gonna have people that are gonna love it. Come on, it's awesome. Uh,
Definitely, I'll write it and I'll put your name. For thanks for inspiring me and thanks for reason for being the thought of mine. I'll definitely put your name in the book
no, no, no.
and
You don't need to do any of that. just knowing that you did it will be enough, they'll be awesome. And we'll get you back on. We'll promote that book, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll just keep on promoting. I love the I'm telling you, the reason I reached out to you, and you are the first person that I've interviewed so far that is not an author, that is, that is just kind of doing that is separate from the people I've spoken to so far. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is because I genuinely love this community, and I love like the idea that everything can kind of boost, and I love the idea of like people that love other creatives and like everything. I believe in the analogy that a rising tide raises all the boats. Have you heard of that before? That like
Correct. Yeah.
you know what I mean? That like
Yeah.
a boost to one person can be a boost to everybody. So like
Correct. Correct.
so I love the way that you're doing it, because every time that you talk to these people, it also brings them to light as well. It's a dual effect, right? You talking to that marine biologist, of course, gets people who's like, oh, this dude's talking to a marine biologist. But it's also a double effect, because people that follow that marine biologist goes like, oh, now he's talking to this kid. That's kind of cool. I didn't think he would be doing that.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways, and everything
Yeah.
rises. And then like, now people that maybe they saw all your previous videos and thought that you're only interviewing a certain type of people. Now they see that marine
Correct.
biologist and they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe I can talk to this kid. And now they're gonna hit you up. Hey, I'm a firefighter from XYZ. You want to talk to me? Be like, yeah, all right, whatever. I'll talk to you. And everything kind of grows. And I love that concept.
Yeah.
So we've
I mean,
talked.
when, yeah,
No, go
yeah,
ahead, please.
yeah. Like you said, every day when I talk with a new person, and every time when I come with a new person, definitely that will be interesting for different eyes for watching me, for watching my YouTube channel, or you for watching my Instagram, or watching my Twitter. So definitely they will expect something new from me, and I'm new. So definitely I'm going to do new every time podcast, different. I want to show it. Actually, I can see myself being showcasing myself, talking with all these people. I don't know that I have these many thoughts in my mind before, until unless I implement and I do it. Now I got a thought by listening to you about the book. Maybe I'll publish someday by writing it. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to put that, to create it, to tell what exactly I feel about things. Definitely it takes time. So everything, everything comes from decisions. All life is all about decisions, making decisions, taking decisions. So definitely everything I'm going to do. And definitely I am like you are. And I came into your mind. That is the biggest achievement for me.
What do you mean?
You choose me. That is the achievement for me, for your podcast.
Oh, Oh, okay. Yeah. It's awesome when people start hitting you up. It's like a way different feeling than going out and reaching out to people. It's really it's an awesome feeling when people start reaching out to you. Uh, really make
Correct,
it.
correct.
Yeah, it really makes you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're on the right path.
Yeah,
Um,
because you look like a very experienced podcaster. Your questions are too deep. You look very uh, organized in your way, not like organizing like having a certain kind of questions. You have your own questions, and you ask questions based upon what I say. So I'm the same. I do the same. But you, you I think you are more experienced than me. So you picking up me is a biggest achievement for me, Gangadhar. I feel blessed for that. I feel very great to talk with an experienced person who knows better than me.
well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. But this is actually started this podcast like a little bit ago. Yeah,
Okay.
this is I think you're gonna be episode like 23, I believe. Yeah.
In 1 month, 23.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Wow, that's great. That
yeah,
is awesome, man. That
yeah,
is
I talk to a lot of people, and it really like I don't sleep because I talk because the thing is too is that I really like the idea of talking to people from other countries. And I'm sure, oh my God, I don't know how haven't talked about this earlier. You noticed how hard it is talking to how just the simple logistics of talking to people. I mean, there was one time I had to leave work 2 hour like three like just randomly in the morning. Like I was at work, I came in at work at 8:30 and I left at 9 and
Yeah.
came back at 1 because I did an interview with a guy in the UK, and that was the only time
Okay.
that I could talk to him because he could only do
Okay.
he could only do weekdays. He could only
Videos
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, and on the
Yeah.
on weekends when I would be able to, like talk to you, right? He would be busy. So the only way that I could talk to him was to leave work.
Yeah.
And it's like those are the things that like you like I'm
That's
just
what that is what. Yeah.
yeah, you know what, like it's tough, right? Actually like scheduling.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Have you like what was the most difficult because you've
You have
talked
to be free when they are free.
yeah. And the scheduling is so difficult because you have to like not only do you have to like mend to the person's scheduling and time, but you also have to do it in like a way that isn't like, too damaging on yours. I remember my very first week I started interviewing people. I interviewed 4 people right after one another. Like
Okay.
because I have no thoughts. I'm dumb. So like so I was like, yeah, why not? Makes sense. They're free, I'm free. Makes sense. And I remember by the end of it, I was like,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
much. It was too much. And then I had to double back on it. And I'm like, all right, we'll do 2 a week. But even then, I'll mess up on that. Like this week, I'm going to be up to 4 because I did one yesterday. I did the one with you, and I have another one tomorrow. So like
Okay.
it's just like out of nowhere. And last week I had 4. But then next week is Christmas, which is why I'm doing that because next week I'm just taking it off. I'm just hanging out with my family and whatnot. But honestly, even
Wow.
I might even break that. I'm talking to a person from Germany that like doesn't is she from Germany? I think she's from Germany and she doesn't like celebrate Christmas. So
Okay.
I mean obviously. So when so she's talking about that she wants to do a recording on the 24th. I might have to take her up on that offer. Honestly, I might have to do a recording next week, just because like
Wow.
again, it's just like one of those things that she is because of her time schedule. The only way I would be able to do it would be like if I took off work, and I don't want to have to take off work. The 24th is right there. I might do that, just like knock it out quick in the morning, and then just like hang out with my family for the rest of the day. I don't know. That might be too much though.
Okay. Wow. That's great, man.
Well, it's just like when I started it, it's that I generally I started kind of I guess more like selfishly. I thought I was like, oh well, like it would be a cool way of like promoting the podcast and like talking to other people. But literally on my very first one, I noticed how much I love doing it just in general. Like I loved writing. Like I love writing. Like
Okay.
I don't say it like I'm a huge nerd. Like I really love. I could talk about writing literally endlessly. If you had a
Okay.
recording on me, I could talk until I died about it.
Wow.
I'm serious. So like so when I talk to other people that are passionate about it, oh my god, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And like and that it isn't just for writing. It's like if like it's what we talking about earlier. How you get a person to not be nervous is to like find what they're passionate about. And when you find that fountain, you can
Yeah.
drink forever. You know what I mean? Because you're
Yeah.
both just going off of what you're both passionate about. And if you have at least a slight interest in whatever that person's talking about, that you can just keep going on and forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I mean, I kind of almost hate to bring up the whole like war thing again, but for me, I'm a pacifist. Like, I don't believe in war for the most part. I think for the most part, most situations can be talked about just in humans, right? There's not a reason to ever ball up my fist and want to hit you or to grab a stick or to grab my friends. There's never a reason for that. I should be able to just talk to you and solve my problem, right? Logically,
Nice.
just as humans,
Correct.
empathy, right?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
So to me, logically, I don't believe in war. But
Yeah.
I've had great conversations with people that have been in war and they really believe in war, right? And we're not arguing, they're expressing their passion and I'm
Correct.
expressing my passion and we're still finding a good medium, right? We're still
Correct.
finding like a good home in between.
Right.
That's what to me that's what human being a human
Correct.
being is. It's empathy. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
You will have no problem with anybody if you be like that.
Yeah, I have no problem. You know, there's no reason to be like that. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Correct. Correct.
especially like that, because I really don't like war. You know what I mean? And I think it's just like crazy to ever like go to that extreme. But like, and I'm talking to people that really believe the exact opposite of me, and still
Okay.
no argument. We're just like, happy. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that when you see like the world, right? You turn on the news and there's people going crazy over like
Yeah.
little disagreements. It's like, dude, come on, you know?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
religion. That's the one that I never got, you know? I grew up Catholic, right?
Yeah.
And then when you grow up Catholic and you start learning about the other little things like, oh, that's Lutheran, oh, that's Baptist. It's like, oh, but we're all believing Jesus, right? And it's like, oh yeah, but like we believe that Jesus was doing this, and you guys believe Jesus was doing that. And it's like, dude, but why are we arguing? We're all in the
Yeah.
same thing. Why we have different names for it? I mean, I don't
Correct.
know. And it goes back to like more cultural things, right?
Yeah.
It's more historical things, like more like, like that group might have done something like really horrible to another group, and that's why they have different names. And I get that, but it's
Yeah.
like we live in this is 2020. We have iPhones. Why are we still
Correct.
arguing about that?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's
Yeah.
just it's crazy.
Yeah. I got you. I understood you.
Yeah.
That's
So
great. That's great. That great way of looking at things. So you will just move on. You just see them. You just are living for what they are, and you are not arguing or not telling anything which is against to them, or not supporting them. You're just telling, okay, fine, yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
exactly. Enjoying that person's conversation.
That's it. That is what me too. I do
Yeah.
the same. That's
Yeah. Yeah, so it's awesome that we're on the same page about everything. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Smart Cherries Thoughts YouTube channel. Check it out. I'm pretty sure it's the same name for Instagram, right? It is.
yeah,
So, but
everywhere,
what is the actual
everywhere.
tag? Is it at Smart Cherries Thoughts or is it at something else?
At Smart Cherry Thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. Boom.
Yeah,
It's spelled exactly how you would think it is. SMARTCHERRYS, and then thoughts, THOUGHTS. Look this
yeah,
man up. I mean, if you're not already following him, you have to make sure to start following him. I mean, like the conversation is just so far has been amazing. I can only imagine how you break apart other people's. I mean, I can't. I have already listened to your interviews. I actually did listen to that marine biologist. I actually did listen to the army guy. I listened to two other authors actually, and one of the main reasons is I don't want to say the name, but one of the authors that you interviewed, I actually have interviewed myself. So that was the thing that kind of led me on to be like, oh, okay, cool. And I like the way that you talked to her, and I had a really long conversation with her. And when I saw the 20-minute thing, I was like, oh my God, I can only imagine like because she talked forever and she was such a great conversationalist. So like, I can only imagine like what she would like did in like what she was able to say in like those 22 minutes. And it was 100% right. It was just a great conversation. I would say even better than mine. We took like, forever to talk about
yeah,
the things we talked about. And in your 20 minutes, you just like, it was boom, beautiful, condensed. It was awesome. You know what I mean?
yeah. I got you. Yeah,
Yeah, I love just like the way you go about things. Now, one thing is so you don't necessarily read. You're not like a crazy, huge like movie buff, right? But how do you feel about music? How do you feel about art? Like the paintings behind me, you right? Do you feel like any emotional ties to that? Do you go to museums? Oh yeah,
uh,
how are Indian museums? Oh man,
yeah,
how's that?
yeah,
Have you ever been to
yeah.
some? I'm a huge museum guy. In Boston, there's like when you're a student, they give you free passes to all the museums. And on my
Correct.
mother, I would go like once a month. They were my
Yeah, you
favorite
have to
things.
visit. You have to visit here. Yeah, there is a museum called Salarjung Museum in Hyderabad. So you can see a lot of uh, uh, things which are related to, which are connected with 300 years before, and maybe more than that, thousands of years. You feel like, oh my God, you was not there at that time, and you watching it, you watching what they have used, what kind of the machinery that they have to use, they used to do, and what kind of food materials that they have used to use. That is amazing. That is one of the one of the deep places where I went, like museum. And you was talking about the artwork that is there behind you. It is very good. It's bright, and which makes my eyes to look it for a long time. Um, it's very, very good. I love art. When it comes to music, I listen to music all the time, actually, all the time. Music and conversations, and studying about tech, and so that I can be logical. I selected and I wanted to be a tech guy, not to be other job doing person, because I love technology is something that where you have to be completely logical, because it is a machine. You have to be logical with the machine. So when you connect, and when you are working with the machine and in the machine, so you will become a machine, and you will start interacting like a machine with the world, so that you will not allow somebody to control your emotions. You are not the human being no more. You are a machine. So the way you take emotions will be different when you are a tech guy. So I want to be tech, and at the same time, like you said in the beginning, emotions. I respect emotions. I respect emotions, but thoughts, when different people have different thoughts. So I'll not say that I'm against to them. I'll not say that I'm supporting them. I'll not say that I have no emotion on them. I just project and just leave it off. I don't know with whom I did video yesterday. I don't remember anything. I remember what I am doing right now. If it is over, this video is over. Tomorrow, at that time, what happens, happens. So no emotion on anything. I mean, no time to feel the emotion.
Oh
When you
God.
actually, the people who are very free and wants to feel a particular emotion, who loves nature and wants to feel the nature by seeing the water and ocean, they have a lot of time. Actually, I don't have time to feel any emotion for a long time. I think I'm very busy person.
I think I don't know. I think time is relative. I think every person can put some more time into it. Like for example, you're talking about the book, right? So that book is gonna be like it's gonna take some time for you to do it. But the moment that you want to do it, you're gonna find the time to do it. Like how many do you want? So you don't watch TV or to do anything, right?
No,
So what do you do? So you go to work, you wake up, you go to work, you do your job for how many hours do you do your job? Is it like a regular like 9 hour shift? Is it a 10 hour shift?
I don't work actually. I'm completely free now. I'm not working. I have a source where I can get money. So I want time. I respect time a lot. I want more time. I will generate money from other side, and I will live. That will help me for living. And I'm saving a lot of time. 24 hours I have in a day, so in less time I want to get money. If it is for 4 hours, 20 hours I'll work on YouTube, and I'll work on my blogs. I write a lot, and I am being very serious from last few days. I write, and I'm completely connected with internet. I'm expressing completely. I'm into social media, and I'm into internet all these days. And I want to be completely, even that 4 hours, if I can get money without doing anything other than this work. So I'll be very happy. I hope I'll get money from the work that I'm doing right now. If I get, I think I'll do thousands of videos in my life. Like I'll talk with thousands of people, and I'll showcase their ideas and thoughts, and whatever the response come, even the comment section, whatever the people say about it, I don't have time to see that comment also, because I had talked whatever that came in my mind at that particular time. I don't have the same thought right now. I'm doing other video, and I'm talking with other person. So 250 videos just went like that. Maybe another 250 videos. If you ask me what was the video, if you ask me the 30 number video, I don't know. If you ask me the 100 video, I don't know. If you ask me the 120, 150, 200, I don't remember any word. I don't even remember the names. And you was talking about the girl that you said. I don't remember. When they come, okay, I think that okay, I did video with you. But I have 3 videos tomorrow, and after this I have 2 videos. So after doing with you, and I'll do video with you after this. After that I have 2 videos, and tomorrow 3 videos. So I like completely, I'm completely, my mind is filled with the next, what I should do next. I'll just putting and editing it, and just putting in a certain form where people can watch it by sitting for 20 minutes or 50 minutes. I'll just put it and I'll forget it, whatever the response. And luckily I didn't got a single dislike for all the 250 videos. That is amazing.
Wow, that is pretty amazing, actually. That is pretty phenomenal. Uh, yeah, that's actually like almost impossible. Wow. Uh, well, one thing is, you said that like you feel like you don't have time to like sit around and like look like experience. I think writing comes from sitting around and experiencing life. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've like looked out. And I mean, like, you know, I'm pretty happy with the things I've done in my life, and I can tell you that I still have a lot of, I still find a lot of time to just, you know,
Yeah,
be able to look around and look at the sky and philosophize about why I'm here. Those things are necessary, man. Like, if you don't have that, I personally think your writing will eventually grow stagnant, which means that you will not grow, which is like the whole opposite of what you're trying to do here, right? You're always trying to grow.
yeah,
So like
yeah.
I think you really need to be able to do those things and be able, and you're doing a lot by talking to these different people, because you do learn a lot by experiencing it. Like you're basically traveling without having to travel, which is the
Correct,
reason I love
correct.
traveling. Because one thing, because I grew up, I mean, one thing you probably notice is that in your talks you've probably become a lot more well-rounded as a person than like most of the people your age in your environment, right? Because
Right.
they speak to people within their environment and only people within their environment, so they're kind of closed off on certain thoughts that they have. Whereas when you talk to them, you know, you've talked to people from all these different types of, all these walks of life and different things like that. So when you talk to them, you have a much more open-minded way of thinking,
Correct.
correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So I had the same thing growing up, but mine came from literally moving around a lot. I've always moved around a lot. I never, when I was young, I never lived in a house for more than like 3 years. It was always moving. So it
Wow.
just in that like uh like I was forced to like have to like, you know, be able to like switch in between environments and people and be able to like take those different things. And just that travel opens up your mind to different outcomes and different forms. And so traveling does a lot, but I think there's also a lot that has to be done internally as well. There's books by Ralph Waldo Emerson, like Independence or the Republic by I can't remember his name, but they're basically philosophers that all went deep into the self. Like they literally, what they did is they went out into the woods and like built their own cabins, you know, like out of lumber, like they, you know, took hatchets and like, you know, made their own house out of lumber and everything, their own cabin. They hunted and they did it for years. And they wrote about the independence, about the human soul when it's fully isolated from society. And just their work, the thing that they were able to like get to were on a different level. I don't think, you know, I think they did well enough that I don't think I have to do that. I don't think I want to go into the cabin and do that every time, any time in my life. But it's little things that like you have to, you know, you have to have your spurts of it. You don't have to have like a long vacation where you're out in a cabin, you know, killing salmon and doing all crazy type of nonsense. I could just, you know, go out to like a park and just look out at like the waters waving and just start philosophizing about that. I mean, you can start philosophizing a lot about little things. You know,
Yeah,
you look at a tree branch, you know, rustling in the wind, and you'll see how like all the leaves are like gone, but there's that one leaf that's like still there. And you're just like thinking
yeah.
about that philosophy. It's like, huh, there's that one leaf that won't give up. You know,
Correct.
you can think about everything. Or when you see or when you see birds flying and you see like a huge formation go, and then 3 minutes later you see that one bird like
Yeah,
following. It's like, oh man, you know, there's that huge group over there, but there's that one guy that's just, you know, a little bit behind, you know,
yeah,
trying his
yeah, yeah.
hardest. but still a little bit, you can start philosophizing about every single aspect about life. So if you
Correct.
if you close yourself off to like only thinking that like I have to worry about the major things, then like you miss out on like the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
I understood. Yeah, I understood you.
But again, I mean, I don't know anything. I'm 26, and my God, there's so much more that I could be doing, and I mean, I'm real hard on myself over it, but still, you have to like appreciate the things that you have done and like keep on going. And there's no reason to remember when I was young, my brother taught my brother explained to me that your brain is a constant like yin and yang. There's like always positive thoughts and always negative thoughts going in there, but the moment you mess up is when you let the negative overcome the positive. So all you have to do, like, you don't have to be like, crazy 100% positive in order to be happy. You just have to be 1% higher than the negative. Know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, you
Yeah.
just have to be 51% happy, and
Correct.
that'll be enough to get rid of the 49% of negativity that you have. You just have to have
Correct.
the majority positive, and that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I,
that you can hit the negative with the more positive. At least if it is 51%, you can hit 49% very easily.
exactly. Because as long as you have the majority of positive, when it gets bad is when you let the negativity get over it. You know what I mean? When you start going like
Yeah. Yeah.
60%,
Yeah. Yeah.
then that's tough. But even then, everything can always change.
Yeah.
Everything is a rate of
Yeah.
change. I mean, that's what like the from what we know of science, that is the one constant in this universe. Everything changes, whether you want
Correct.
to or whether you don't.
I
And
will ask you a question. If you can give me answer.
oh, please go ahead.
Uh, yeah. Can you tell me something in the universe that won't change?
That won't change.
Everything is changing, right? That won't change.
Well, I can't say of anything that won't change, but there's a particle called argon that has a very long. Then again, so there's for what we know, there's almost nothing that doesn't change. It's just the type of scale that you make it last, right? The sun is gonna die, but it's gonna die in 3 billion years. So for our perception, it's not gonna change. My son, your daughter, my daughter, their daughters, down thousands of years, when they look up to the sky, it's going to be the sun. So in our perception and their perception, if there is a type of heaven or a type of afterlife and we meet up and talk about it, we're all going to be talking about the same thing. Oh yeah, you remember the sun? Oh yeah, I remember the sun. It was like, in the sky, it was red. It's all going to be the same thing. But then in 3 billion years, it's going to die. And whatever's life living around that time, if it's on Earth, if we've migrated to like space stations, if we've reset and we're just cavemen looking up like and just die, you don't know,
Mm.
but it will change. But it's more perception. So as far as like particles, there is a thing called argon, which lasts a very very long time, to the point that I have read some really cool like science fiction that like says that time travel is possible by replicating argon. Like one thing that my chemistry teacher told me is that the same particles of argon that Benjamin Franklin, that uh Siddhartha Gautama, that Gandhi, that all these people, the same argon particles that Jesus Christ, if that Julius Caesar, all the particles of argon that they breathed, we're breathing in right now. Like the particle
Yeah.
doesn't die. Well, it just has a
Yeah.
very long half-life, right?
Yeah.
And plutonium, non-radioactive plutonium, has a half-life of like, I think like 276 years, I believe. That's like
Okay.
that's 2 human generations.
Okay.
So I mean, it's almost, again, it's almost like a philosophical question again, because the answer is like, yes, there's things that last for our perception forever. But in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of the universe, nothing lasts forever. Even the universe will eventually go.
So the only thing that will be constant is change.
Exactly. The only constant is change, which is a catch
Change.
22. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to say this. I'm a cricketer. One of my cricket mate asked me this question. I failed in it, and he said me this, and I thought to ask you the same.
Somebody sent you that, and what? And you failed, you said?
I failed. I didn't said the answer. everything is going to change. Nothing is going to be constant. So I felt in it. You tell me the answer. I said him. So he said me that change will be constant.
Oh, his answer was change will be constant. Okay.
Change. Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, that's not really a fair question. You didn't fail it. That's like an SAT question. That's like meant to confuse you. Like you're not gonna. I can guarantee you, no one has gotten that right. I can almost
Yeah.
guarantee you.
Yeah.
It's like the phrasing of it. It's like if I heard it, I would have been, oh, you suck. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If my friend would have hit
Yeah.
me with that, oh, change is constant. Oh, okay. Okay. Literally, the sentence is like a paradox. What are you saying? Change is constant? That's not right. Um, but then again, there's a lot of things that are interesting, and like you have to really open your mind to a lot of things. I remember a friend of mine when I moved to California, I had a friend of mine that believed that the Earth was flat, and I mean, like I'm engineering background, so like that's ridiculous, but I just respected him as a person, so I didn't make fun of him. I just kind of heard what he was saying, and his belief about it, like I just understood it more that like more of the same thing with like every person that has a crazy conspiracy theory or a crazy fringe idea of the universe that you think is like absurd. They don't really believe in that thing as much as they just don't believe, or they have lost faith in the alternative. So I don't think that all these people that like believe in a flat earth, I don't think they like necessarily believe that like the earth is flat and all these crazy things. I just think that they really don't believe in NASA. You know, I
Okay.
think I think that they think the government is a complete lie. So they think that
Okay.
everything that the NASA that
Yeah. Yeah. I saw those
you
videos.
know what I mean? So I think that
Yeah.
everything they think that anything that NASA says is a lie. So they take that
Yeah.
as like, oh, they NASA saying that the Earth is round. Oh, it has to be flat. You know, they just doing the opposite.
Yeah. Correct.
You know what I mean? Same thing with the people
Yeah.
that don't believe in like vaccinations. You know
Yeah.
that like all those things. It's like, all right, I don't think that they believe. I don't think that they don't believe in science. I think that they just don't believe in the government. They think that the government is going to mess with them, and they're not. They're not wrong. I mean, the government does mess with people all the time. It's been documented. You
Yeah.
know, it's been
Yeah.
documented
Yeah.
since all of human history. So it's
Yeah.
a definite thing they're gonna do. But like, it's like too much. It's like the whole fear thing you were talking about. It's like you let fear control too much of your thoughts, and it overrides your logical thinking.
I think when you put a lot of your mental emotion and mental investment on that, I don't think you will get answers from that, because you are thinking about something that you don't know.
Exactly. Like you're thinking about things that are out of your control. Now, I like to ponder about those things, but like again, I'm not married to any of my thoughts. There's nothing that I say that if you told me the opposite, I'm gonna get mad over. It would be impossible. I'm telling you, it would be impossible because I'm really not married to anything, and I'm open to like I can't tell you the amount of times that I've said something and really believed it, and then somebody said the opposite, and I was like, oh, I did not know that, and I completely changed my point of view right then and there. I was like, oh, I did not think about that point, and then I was like, yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
and then completely I just like whoop, went the opposite way. That right then in that moment. It didn't even take me like, hours of like thinking back on it. It was like right then I understood that there was a point,
Yeah.
there was a part of the information that I didn't have. And now that I
Yeah.
have it, it completely changes how I think about it.
Yeah. You
And
you are doing exactly what I'm doing.
yeah, but there's a lot of people that can't take that take that and they don't accept the information. That they take
Yeah.
something that's contrary to them and they go like, nope, not real.
Yeah.
This is what's real, what I believe in, and all that is fake news. And then you
But
have
have you faced the problems? Have you faced the problems for being like that?
in the podcast or in my life.
Both.
All right. In my podcast, not once. In life, oh my god, yes. just, just because like I feel like people at a certain point, especially like the people that are emotional, they want you to be emotional too. So when you're trying to look at something illogical, they look at you like, oh, but why aren't you as riled up as I am? And it's like because
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not riled up. Like I'm just I'm calm. And then
Yeah.
you'll get like a lot of people that are just like crazy. But I will tell you, even in those situations, a lot of people will double back on it and be like, yeah, I was crazy, and like I was like not, and I'm aware of it. I'm not a saint, you know what I mean? I will go
Yeah.
crazy and then think back. I was like, oh yeah, I was being stupid. The last like things I just said, and then I'll admit that immediately. I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I was going kind of crazy. The last thing I said was completely stupid, and it happens all the time. I look at past like when I love telling embarrassing stories about myself just because not only do I think it's funny, but like I don't even think that it's me. Know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
believe in growth so much that when I look back at like how I acted or thought 7 years ago, I don't even think it's me. It's like looking at a cartoon character. It's like, oh,
Okay.
dude, you won't believe what that is. Oh, let me tell you what that idiot used to think. So he used to think this, and that. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's a different person. Like I don't
Correct.
believe anything that I used to think back then.
Yes,
So like when
yes,
I tell a
yes.
story about it, I have no problem saying all the little embarrassing parts and being completely honest about it because like I'm so distant from that. You know what I mean? And I love the
Yeah.
thought that like in 7 years, I'm gonna think about myself right now and the same thing. Like, oh, you won't believe what I was thinking when I was 26. Oh, Jesus, idiot. You know? And I love that constant growth and just like knowing that's around the corner. You know?
Yeah, I don't think you will have any feeling about your photo, which was took before 7 years.
What do you mean?
You know, you will not have any feeling on the photo of yours, which was took before 7 years.
Oh, like yeah, like I'm not gonna have like any investment on like yeah. But I mean, I can tell you my podcast like the podcast picture is actually I can show it. I can show it to you right now. It's actually like my picture from Dominican Republic. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Dominican Republic, and
Okay.
and my picture the picture that I have is actually from when I was a baby in Dominican Republic, and it's like my family picture of like my brother and my mom holding me as like a baby, and it was right after I got uh like a right. I think it was right after I got baptized or something like that. No, that's not right. For whatever reason, I was just wearing all white. So like I'm wearing all white on my mother's lap, and then like everyone is just like wearing like regular clothes, and I'm just like in the center like. Ugh. And that's my profile picture. I actually hate taking pictures of myself. One of the main things I had to get over is I always like, although it's pretty confident talking, but I don't like looking at myself. So I never wanted to start recording. Like my thought for the podcast was that I was only gonna do audio. But then a friend of mine was, just like gave me just like, hey, people, people really like video though. You know what I mean? People like being able to see the face, and it's not like you can't. It's not like you don't have the ability to. You just don't want to. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to. But eventually, eventually I was like, yeah. No, it didn't take me long. I think I started recording. I think episode 3. So like, I did my first 2 full audio, and then right after 3, I was like, yeah, he probably got a point. And from there,
Okay.
just it's just that's been the motto. That's what we've been doing. Really haven't like thought back
Okay.
since
Okay.
then. Do you think you're
Okay.
ever gonna incorporate different mediums for yourself? Do you ever think you're gonna branch off into different things? One of my favorite things of hearing about authors is like what they think of their own progression. I've talked to a lot of like romance authors, and they'll talk about their romance like series, but then at the end of the podcast, they'll start talking about like some random like wolf fan fiction that they want to write, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, you know what I mean? Like everyone always has some crazy extra thing that like if you don't go longer with the conversation, you wouldn't get to because they're just talking about like what they're working on currently. But then like later in the
Yeah.
conversation, they're like, oh yeah, I'm working on this
Yeah.
also. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that like will talk about that they want to get into like movies, or they want to be like like write screenplays, or they want to get into graphic novels. That's actually something I want to get into when I get a better familiarity with like the artists in that work for the company. But
Okay.
uh yeah, do you like that's just for myself. Do you think you yourself will ever get into like different mediums? Do you ever think that you'll go into a larger format, or is this like do you think that this is the groove for you and you're just gonna hit this forever? Do you think that like this 20 to, well, no, you said that it goes in between, so your time frame is between half hour to an hour and a half, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So do you think that's the format you're gonna stick to forever? Just the half hour to hour and a half mark, interviewing as many people as you can, but then what's going to change is more of the people that you're talking to. You're going to be talking to higher caliber guests every time, going higher and talking to politicians and just going further and further.
Yeah, you asked two questions in this. You said the mediums. You're talking about the medium, the voice podcast, and the video one, audio and video, and the fact that both are working in the internet, because there are people who are listening and who are watching both. So I cannot say that only voice is good and only the visual is good. So because human have eyes to see and ears to listen. Whenever he wants to listen, he will listen. Whenever he wants to see, he will see. So what works for me is, personally, I think I look good. I think I'm looking good. Maybe that's why the reason people are clicking. If I do the podcast, I don't think that works, because I don't think I can create the same impact with the with my vocal cord than my visual thing. I don't know, but a lot of people are working and doing great jobs, because they have the voice which can make a lot of people to listen to them. I don't think I have a voice which can connect with more people like the visual is doing right now. So 100% I'm going to be a visual person, because that is working for me. That is working for me, and that is why the reason a lot of follows, a lot of people are recognizing me. Like, this guy is this, this green color guy. Have you seen that green color head guy interviewing with musicians? So like that, I fixed in their mind. So that mouth, word with mouth with word. So that publicity, that one, I that's why the reason I got 3,500 plus shares for my YouTube, for all my YouTube videos. Like, that is, I didn't even got a single share in the beginning days, but 3,800 when the YouTube sent me a mail saying that you got 3,500 or 800 shares. So at the end of this year, Happy New Year, they were saying you did awesome. This year was fantastic for you. Then they sent that mail. I thought that I'm like I'm connecting visually more. So I think I have to. This is working for me, so I will continue this. A lot of people said me that you can also do podcast too, because the video you can do that. I know a lot of people are doing it both, but I don't have time. At the same time, I don't think I have a voice which connects with more people. I believe this, but I don't know. Maybe I do or may not.
Well, let me address a couple things. You keep on saying this thing about that you don't have time. I'm telling you, I really think that's a very negative way of thinking. You have time. There's a difference between having time to do something you want to do. Like, I'll put it to you this way: every time in college, every time I heard somebody say that, I said, "Don't say that you don't have time. Say that you don't want to, because that's the actual emotion you're feeling." When a person says like, "Oh, when
Maybe I'm wanting some other thing
exact
than this.
yeah, 100%. Because I'm telling you, you have time. Want to know why I know you have time? Because literally recording the audio and recording the video are the same step. I have a podcast and I also put the videos on YouTube, and literally they record on the same thing. I don't have to do anything extra. Literally, right now, what's gonna happen, right, is that this video,
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it. The
yeah.
video will be uploaded onto like my video editor.
Hmm.
I'll edit it, and then it goes up on YouTube. The audio for this video then goes to SoundCloud. That's
Okay,
the podcast. That's the video. Literally, off the same file, the same interview,
okay.
same amount of time, two results are going on. And then you go on the whole thing about the visual. I can tell you right now, it's great that you feel that way about how you're looking, but I can guarantee you that is only getting the single click. People are following you because of what you're saying. The whole visual thing is only to get you there. People are staying because they're liking the content of what you're saying. So to say that you don't have a voice worth listening to is outrageous, because that's what's bringing you the views. You're not an Instagram girl. You're not like showing half your ass with your titties out. People aren't going for you for that. I'm sorry to break it for you. If that's what you think is like bringing you the people, it's not. What's bringing you the people is you as a person, you as a personality. It has nothing to do
Yeah.
with like a well. The visual aspect has obviously has something to do with it, but the reason people are connecting is not visual. It's your content, you as a person. So 100% you have the voice for a podcast. I don't have. I talk like an idiot. You have no idea Like you're getting a timestamp, okay? I'm an idiot. Like I trail off, I like mumble, I have a lisp. I'm not a good talker by any degrees, but like, you know, I feel like I have something, I feel like I have something to say. So I say it and then that's it. I think that you're 100% on the same boat. There's no reason why not to put the podcast on there. It's a great way of putting everything together. I can tell you right
Yeah.
now, I'm blown away by the amount of people that will reach out to me on platforms that I don't even promote. So I put my things up on like SoundCloud and like things like that, but I don't promote SoundCloud. I just promote
Okay.
Spotify. And
Okay.
even then on SoundCloud, I'll get people, I'll get random like, and you have to think about that. If I'm not promoting SoundCloud, that means that people are searching, looking, finding it, and then liking what they find. Completely natural, right? And the same thing is happening to you. It's completely natural.
Yeah.
It's not just a visual thing they're seeing and you're just like, oh, that guy has blonde hair. He must know what he's doing in life. It's not just it's the content, you know what I mean? It might bring people
Yeah.
there, but it's not what is keeping people there.
Yeah. May or may not be, I don't know, but because that's I don't know what is working. Something is working, so let's do what is working. So
Well, have you done the analytics of your followers? Like, do you
no,
know how
I
do,
don't.
do you
I
know
don't
the
do. No, I
the
don't do
percentage?
anything. No,
Oh,
I don't
nothing,
do
huh?
anything. I
Well,
don't care.
it would be an interesting thing to figure out what percentage of your followers are female and what percentage are male.
See, I'll give you an observation here. While starting the video series, the first video, I have no analytics, no nothing to see. There is nothing. There's
Hmm.
nothing there. So I started it with the only thing was motivation, the driving force that is there in my mind or in me. So that is how I started, and I started doing it and putting it. Then the traffic came. By watching it, the traffic came to my channel and my through my websites. So if I go and see that, I don't know what to do. I'll get confused if I see that the Indian or the I am getting traffic from US or from Germany, from England, from Canada.
No,
If I
that
see
doesn't. I
like
mean,
that,
that doesn't matter. The country doesn't matter. Who cares about the
yeah,
country? It's number and you know age range and like the demographics that business people care about. And I don't know if you ever seen a business spreadsheet. Rarely do they ever really care about countries. Rarely. It's not a thing. Humans are humans, no
so
matter what country you're in.
you're talking about the age.
Age, gender, you know, demographic,
Yeah,
the type of things that like you from a business perspective are things that you study in order to promote growth.
yeah.
It's how banks work. Like you study like what parts are working, they invest on that, and that's how it's how businesses increase their IPOs and X, Y, and Z.
Do they get do they get the same response by implementing by seeing all the analytics and all the all the things that you said? Are they getting 100% success?
Say that again.
You're saying that all the business people are getting the better result by seeing the analytics and the female male, the gender aspect and
Demographics.
demographics, all those things. So what is their success percentage? How much success they are getting
100.
by seeing that?
I would say like 100%. I mean, I'll put it to you this way: I don't think there's any company alive that's not doing this. I mean, it's
Yeah.
standard of business. It's as basic as like buy low and sell high. I mean, like that's like saying like, oh, who's really getting success rate? Buying low and selling high. I mean, it's everybody. It's a standard of like
No,
growth.
the reason why podcast and this YouTube are running, because where a person says or where a person shows his talent, that is a platform where it reaches all around the world. Every human being from every place can watch it. If he can market himself, or if he has influencers, he can show that his work to the world. So it depends on the traffic, it depends on the people who he is following, who is following him, and the YouTube itself sometimes promotes. So I don't think even you're talking about the algorithm. So the algorithm is something. I'm a tech guy, I'm a IT guy. So I know people who said that if you put a certain keyword, you will get the traffic. If you put this keyword,
Oh,
you will reach this kind of
that's
audience. I
tough.
know.
Yeah,
In the
that's
beginning
tough.
days, in my blogging, in the beginning days, a lot of people gave me suggestions, but nothing worked for me. If I saw their success percentage by implementing their thoughts, actually nobody knows nothing. What I understood is everybody says that this works and that works, and actually nobody knows what exactly works. Everybody is there to express and to tell what they know, and whatever works. If that doesn't work, that doesn't work. If something is working for somebody and you are doing the same, that doesn't work for you. So if something is working for you, and if somebody copies you and do the same, that doesn't work. So actually nobody knows what exactly works. Everybody, we are talking, two humans are talking, one person is expressing, other person may or may not listen, may or may not have interest. So this is an expression. The only thing that I can do is I can express myself, and whatever works. If the only thing that is there in my mind, and that is there in my control, is what I can say, what I know that I can say. What I cannot do, what others expects. It is like doing something by seeing the gender and seeing other things, doing something for others, and they will watch at that particular time. I don't know in which mood they are. I don't know whether they fighted with their girlfriend or with their boyfriend. Maybe they wants to see some other movie, or I don't know what exactly emotion they are feeling. So if we start creating the content by seeing by seeing the analytics and everything which is coming, that is what business is. Nobody knows what exactly works. That is why the reason it will not be constant. The only thing that we can do is continuous doing something, and the traffic varies. The
Well,
traffic will not be constant. So I cannot say that the person who listened to me yesterday will come today. There may they because their timing, they may or may not be free.
that's what I mean by studying analytics. So I think you're like talking about like that. I'm talking more kind of like, all right. So for example, I get bursts of stuff. I release my videos on Monday and Wednesday, right? Now, my burst of listeners happens on Monday and Friday. Now, that's weird, right? Because Monday makes sense because I released my video on Monday. But then you would think that like I would get another burst on Wednesday, but I don't. If anything, I'll get like a couple on Wednesday, but then I'll get like another big boost on Friday. So why is that? The analytics of that is because that's how people are listening to podcasts. So what can I do as a business perspective? That means that if I were to drop for whatever reason, if I felt it was too much to record a video on Monday and Wednesday within the schedule that I have, and I wanted to put it on Thursday, then I know it wouldn't affect my listeners, right? Because obviously they're not even listening on Wednesday or Thursday when I put it; they're listening on Friday. So I know of that analytics now that I can like go forward with a different track using the whole thing of
Okay.
age, and like and that type of demographic. If you have a lot of people that are listening to you, I mean, if you have a lot of people that are following you that are into who knows health sciences, right?
Yeah.
And you're selling a science fiction book, what is the likelihood that that person is following you because they're gonna buy your book, or what is the likelihood that that person is following you because you follow them, and that's how
Okay.
Instagram works. There's a
Okay.
difference between a person following you and a person that's actually like sellable to. That's what demographics are. Like there's like I remember when I took business positions, it's unreal the amount of like software there is. There's actual software that is paid for that you can log on to. And I'm not lying. I can even in where you live, if you give me your address, I can type in this address in your country, and it'll give me a demographic of your area, and it'll tell me like basically how to sell to you. I swear. This is real
Okay.
technology. That's how crazy we are right now.
I,
Isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that absurd?
you
Like,
are right.
isn't
You are
that
right. Yeah,
isn't that
understood now.
no? Like, isn't that so crazy that like we're so invasive like that? That I could like type in a random address and I can find out how people that I don't even know like are living
Correct,
their
correct,
life. Isn't that weird? That's like invasive. That's like scary, you know?
correct, correct. Yeah, that's a fantastic technology actually.
I mean, it's fantastic as a business person, right? Because like you know how to do that, and you can like study the analytics of it. And if you're
Yeah,
interested in it, I'll give you the link, if you ever want to actually like do a little bit of that type of studying. But just like from a human aspect, it's weird because I'm a huge fan of privacy. I didn't have any social media until I started doing this podcast. I'm a huge person about privacy. I don't in my Instagram, I don't post anything about like life. I don't really talk about like my like I just keep it professional level, at the creativity level. You know what I mean? I express my
yeah,
thoughts, my philosophies. I'll go person about my life, but you know, I'm not gonna talk about my mother. I'm not gonna talk about my brother, my sister. That's my information to keep for myself. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
So
understood.
it's kind of weird that we're getting into like a society that's like so opposite, where like we're oversharing so much information, you know,
Correct.
where I can hop on the internet and type in an address and find out how people, you know, in Uzbekistan, how to sell them, you know, toilet seat covers or God knows what, how to sell
Yeah,
them, you know,
yeah,
Spider-Man merchandise. It's weird that you can do that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. I understood. Yeah, yeah. You're right.
Do you have a fear of that type of technology? Because you also have a tech background. You're in the software
Yeah.
side. I'm more on the actual structure side. How do you feel? Do you have any fear of the progression of technology?
Yeah, I have.
What is it?
I have. I have that. And you mentioned something like uh, there are certain followers of yours will follow you, whatever the content may be, because they decided to follow. They
Because
decided to. They love what you
they
say.
like
They
you.
love
Yeah.
what. Yeah, they love to watch you, or they love to listen to you. What you are saying, the question of yours, what answer you're giving, how you're responding. They
Yeah.
love watching you, listening to you. So they want to listen to you. There will be people who won't leave you. Whatever it comes, they just click. If they
Yeah.
want, they are waiting for you. Actually, they are maybe something that you are creating some effect in me. That's why the reason there are fixed people, like you said, they are fixed. I have those people, like who will definitely, whatever the content may be, they will. I will get those likes and those views for sure. And I understood that, and I'm targeting. That is called as targeting or audience. I know whom to target,
Yeah. That's all analytics, man.
yeah, and you know what, and also that works for some extent. That works for some extent, because no, even my followers not interested in everything in the world. They
Definitely.
I'm talking about the author. That is why the reason they clicked and they subscribed my channel. And after a few days, I'm talking with the army guy who is talking about army and the guns and the war. Who wants to, this guy don't want to listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
He watches it for 5 or 10 minutes, and he will go off. When it comes to the website, it is called as bounce rate. How much bounce rate you have. If you have less bounce rate, and that means that your content is very good. So different contents have different watch time. The watch time for different videos, I have different watch. So I don't do videos which I did already. So I will shock every time. So that shock, they may take or they may not take. I'm not depending on this. I'm not making money out of it. I don't want to. I know I will not get money if I do like this, because I'm like doing every time different, unexpected. When you're nobody, I don't want to be expected. I want to be unexpected. So nobody prepares for unexpected. So they they may not have interest all the time on me.
Well, you make a pretty good point about like the whole follower thing, and uh just how everything goes. How I mean, it's great that you have those type of followers, you know. Yeah, the people that truly just follow you and do everything that they click on you, and those type of things are really important. But what you say about content is also really true. There are certain people that when I put, I don't know if you've seen anything of my page on Instagram, but if I post anything related to like art of the book, I can almost guarantee you who like the first 5 people are gonna like it are, without a doubt. Like I just know. And then I know that literally if within 5 minutes of that, if I post something like writing related, it'll be another 5, a completely different 5. The same people that were on and saw the art, they won't like that, but they'll like the writing thing, and then vice versa for other people. So it's just like what you say is 100% true with like diversity of content. But even in that thing, it's like it's something that I think about a lot as a writer, because I don't like to. I want to keep on growing too. So I write science fiction, but like, if I want to do a children's book in 5 years, I think it's outrageous that I wouldn't do that. Because I like children, Well, that sounds like a pedophile, but like, you know what I mean. I like children's work. I like cartoons. I like Disney. Like I like Pixar movies. Like I think that they're a really high form of entertainment in order to be able to say like adult things, but to say it to children. Like Kung Fu Panda is basically like, Eastern philosophy. So it's basically it's basically Taoism to a child. That's basically what Kung Fu Panda is. It's like all that philosophy of like, big things that like were literally like written down by Tao, by Confucius, and boiled down so that a child can understand it. I think that's a hallmark of phenomenal writing. So when I get older, I definitely want to do that. But as of right now, I like swearing, I like, guns and things like that. So like that's like I want to do that type of growth. But I can't tell you how many authors I've talked to that have written, let's say that they're a romance author. They've written young adult fantasies, and they're almost scared to release it because they think that they've gotten a good following with the romance.
Yeah, yeah,
They don't want to switch it up and
yeah,
like disappoint their audience. But it's like, man, you're an
yeah,
author, like you're a creative, like that's. But they have a point though. I have to tell you, some of the biggest accounts I've seen on Instagram are people that do one solid thing, just to, like that's all
yeah.
they do. They
Yes,
post
yes,
one type of photo 5 times a day, and it
correct,
works. It works for them. I
correct.
don't know if it's gonna work for me. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? And if it works for them, God bless them. I have no, all good things to say. But that's not how I'm viewing how I want to be doing things. You know what I mean?
And it is dangerous for them, actually they are creating that image of them in their followers, saying that I am this, I will put this kind of content, I am this, so they will expect that content only. So for us, for you
Yeah.
and me, we have no
If they ever
problem,
decide to
they will
change, it's a
accept whatever we
problem.
say.
Yeah, yeah. That's a
They
really
will
good
accept
point.
whatever we say.
That's a really good
That
point.
actually
Yeah.
helps you to be yourself.
But then
You
again,
can be yourself.
but maybe that's like the fear of it too, because I think because you hear a lot of I'm a huge fan of comedy, and you hear a lot in comedians that like when they started off, they had like all this crazy like really deep thinking philosophical type of like comedy, but then as they got as they started to get as they started to work more and they started to like get more laughs by doing the stupider type of comedy, like fart
Correct.
jokes and like whatever, they just
Yeah,
stuck with the fart jokes only because that's what was
yeah,
getting them content. And then when they
yeah,
and then they became crazy famous off the fart jokes, and then made millions of dollars off of it. And then 10 years later when they try to release their book, that's like like their more philosophical thing, everyone's like, oh, look at this guy, he's trying to be fake. He's like, no, I was being fake before with the fart jokes, now I'm trying to be real, and now you're not accepting me because I built this idea that I'm only the fart jokes guy, and they won't accept anything other. But
yeah. That's what that is what I'm
it's
telling. You are
scary.
creating
Yeah, it's
that
scary.
they are creating that kind of an image. If a guy who is putting his six pack on the Instagram, he should put a six pack photo to get 1,000 likes all his
Yeah.
lifetime. So I
And
can't
now he
be
has to
that.
do that every day. Now he has to go to the gym every day. He has to
Yeah,
always put the picture of him,
yeah.
with like an inspirational quote that he doesn't believe in.
Yeah, but I choose the path where I can get likes and subscribers and just doing whatever I want. So that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
I want them to accept me like I am. I don't be like what they expect.
definitely. I mean, I'm 100% on the same pathway as you. But I guess it's one of those things that like, especially when you.
For example, you are doing something that you didn't do yesterday, and you're putting that. So you are getting likes. It can be 5 likes, like you said. 5 likes, those 5 likes, because they are accepting you like you are. So that is what you want, that kind of people. You that views will be for sure. At least you can guarantee that how many subscribers you have. For example, I got subscribers. My subscribers count is increasing from last 5 months. None of the subscriber unsubscribed my channel. I don't know why they are not going. Actually, they can put unsubscribe button. It's very easy, but I don't know why they are not unsubscribing. I didn't got a single. I mean, I may got, but not less than 5 or 10 in last 5 months. Nobody went. Everybody is there, and it is increasing. No, none. It is not even decreasing. Every day I'm checking my subscribers list. Nobody is going. At least they may not watch the video, but they are not unsubscribing because they will get a notification of my every video, and they're not unsubscribing. That 250 people, I can say that they love me. They love to watch me, they love to listen to me, and they want me to be in their life.
Yeah, that is, I mean, that's the goal, right? I mean, that's like it's awesome. It's like the most incredible feeling that you can have, the fact that you're doing something that you like and you're actually connecting with people that want to support you doing the thing that you like. I mean, phenomenal. And my God, we're just about we're over the 2 hour point right now, and this has flown. I mean, this feels like 20 minutes. So do you have any parting thoughts? Anything that you want to say?
So about what?
Like any final thoughts? Anything that you want to like say as a goodbye, as a, anything
Okay.
that you felt that you wanted to talk about, that you wanted to say, that you might have not had a chance to say in the time that we've spoken so far.
Okay, so I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to express myself to your audience, and I really feel this 2 hours. I exchange words with a person who is similar to me, who is doing something that I am doing. Uh, uh, I love this. Most of my thoughts are similar to your thoughts. Like you are doing this is 3 hours. When you said that 2 to 3 hours, or I thought there are a lot of people. When I did videos for 1.5 hour, 2 hours. So a lot of people said me that why you're doing 1.5 hour boring videos. Nobody watches. Nobody listens to you for a long time. So that
Mm-hmm.
I broken that rule. I didn't listen to them, and I because some people have lot to say. They don't know that because if I didn't took their opinion seriously, and I got the views that I got, and they said that you are right, and I understood that some videos takes 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, or maybe 1.5 hour. It depends on the conversation and depends on the information that they are exchanging both. So like that, you are when you said, I attracted to that. When you said 3 hours up to 10 minutes, 50, 20 minutes to 3 hours means, I felt like you are doing the real thing. Like you are being yourself. You are just going according to the flow. So I felt like this is what people wants to listen. This is what people want to connect with, because you're not having any particular diagram like you have to do this, you have to do this, nothing. You're just going into flow, and anything real creates impact. Anything original creates impact, and you're doing the same. I'm in the same line, and that is why I'm successful, and that is why the reason you are successful. You did 23 in 1 month means I did the same. I did 28 in 1 month in the last. That is the biggest. The least is 22, I think. That's great that you're doing, and thank you so much. That's it. I don't think uh, a good messages that works, and nobody listens and takes down seriously. That is particular emotion. Like I said, they'll listen and they'll do whatever they want to do in their time. And they, thanks. I want to thank you because I'm thankful for just for you for giving me your valuable time and listening to me, and letting me know about yourself.
Well, I mean, thank you. This has been phenomenal on my end. I've had a great time talking about it again. I actually have some of Let's go around just to share a little bit of your stuff. I have it up on right here. Something that I always do. So this is the Instagram. Smart Cherry's Thoughts. Make sure to follow this man. All the videos that we were just talking about are right here, as you can see. Literally beautifully posted. Nice little boxes. Wall. I mean, this is the army guy we were just talking about. What was the
Yeah.
other one? There, I believe this is a writer. This is a mountain hiker. I mean, just phenomenal. Everything that this man said is not a word, a second of a lie. I mean, literally, the country speak for himself. PhD. There we go. Canada and United States. We have Switzerland, South Africa. I mean, it goes on. Then we have the man's website. Sai Charan Baluji. Did I mess that up? Baluji.
Yeah, correct.
Baluji.
Paloju. Yeah.
Baluju. Okay. Sai Charan Baluju. That's awesome name. Like again, awesome name. If you ever decide to write fiction, you have to make one of your characters named Sai Charan. My God, Sai Charan. He sounds like a assassin or something, or maybe he's like a politician. It can go both ways. It's such an awesome Sai Charan. It's like rolls off the tongue. That's awesome. So yeah, here's all his many blog posts. Like he said, thousands of them, and the man keeps on churning. He will keep on going. Be yourself. There a whole bunch of different tabs and about contact. Need to make sure to check out this website, smarthumanpsychology.com, and then of course his his YouTube channel. Smart Cherry's Thoughts. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, do what you got to do. All right. And this is going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you again to my guest. It has been an honor. It has been a pleasure. And we're actually going to I'm actually going to switch off and he's going to host an episode of his thing of Smart Cherry's Thoughts. And I'm going to be a guest on his. So we're about to do a quick little turnaround over here. So this is the end of my part. Again, thank you. Thank you so much. You can follow him, follow him wherever. Make sure to get him on Twitter. This is the AR's Tales, aka the A.R.T podcast. I am A.R. Mirabal. This is Sai Charan. Peace out.
Thank you